Hello, I'm Richard Vobes, the Bald Explorer, and I'm continuing my Sussex Border walk. And today I've come up a little bit from the coast. If you remember, the last time I was in Selsey, and we went down to Selsey Bill as the last point in my walk. I'm taking a stroll from Worthing in West Sussex around the whole border of Sussex, and I'm still travelling west. I have yet got to the point where I start to move north. There's so much to see, there's so many interesting places. So I've come up a little bit from Selsey Bill, a little bit further west. To my direct south is Bracklesham Bay. I'm going to take a walk down there a little bit shortly, but I'm going to start here at Earnley. So I'm a mile up from the coast, because Earnley, fascinating old place, and we're going to start here by Earnley Church, a church that doesn't have a dedication. If you remember, when I was filming at Selsey and at Pagham and Siddlesham, we're on the Manhood Peninsula. Now, the word manhood is derived from, man wood, really, le man woad. It's an Old English term. And it means really that there was here on this area common wood. It's now very much agricultural land. It's a lovely little place, but there is not much of it here. The church, I imagine, is the oldest bit, and it dates back, I think the land dates back to about 780 AD. There's a record of it in the Saxon manuscripts, I suppose. This is a very quiet place. But when you come down from Chichester, as I did, down on the road that takes you to West Wittering via Birdham, it's very, very busy. A lot of local businesses are down here. There's basically, from Chichester, really, there's just one road in, and it can get snarled up. I know that from experience from many years ago when I first was courting my wife, who I've now since got divorced, but back in those days I used to come down here, and it was very, very busy, and so it was a bit of a memory lane coming down there. But also the thing that I noticed now was just how much agricultural land there still is. So although at one time it was wooded, it must have been cleared and turned into agricultural land. A lot of growing here, and also, as I say, a lot of light industry as well. Not as much infill of modern housing as I had thought, but maybe I'm not seeing it, and perhaps people can let me know if there is more. So, let's see if the church is open and have a look on the inside. Well, it does seem to be open. Well, this is a very charming little church, and I know that the the nave that I'm standing in here, this dates back to the 13th century, and then the chancel, which is in front of me, was added later. And what a beautiful, charming rural church. One can't help feeling that being that the land was noted in AD 780, there was probably a wooden church here before, a Saxon church, and then a Norman church that we now see 1300, 1200 and something in this area. And no doubt for, of course, the the local people. And one wonders what happened to them. The original houses, the wooden houses, the timber framed houses are probably long gone, and maybe the village became a bit deserted. There's not that many properties here, or perhaps it was incredibly rural and people just journeyed to here, and this was a sort of a point between a number of places. I haven't done a lot of my research on this, and I think going forward on my Sussex Border walk, I am going to enjoy more exploring and speculating and leave the detail to those people who watch the videos and can fill me in, because I know there are many people who know much more than if I try and cram the information into my head and remember whilst I'm out filming. That's the way I make so many mistakes. One thing I did read this morning before I came out was there's a little recess just next to the altar here, and I believe it's called an umbry. I may have got the pronunciation wrong. A carved umbry, and the door on it is 14th century, so that's pretty old. So it's amazing how in these old churches you can find these incredibly old things, and they're just there. I mean, very, very valuable in what it is, but absolutely useless other than being in the church, serving the purpose that it does, keeping, I guess, the priest's bits and bobs for the service that he needs, the vessels and things like that. So I spent a bit of time just looking at the church in this video at Earnley, because actually the villages and the houses around are relatively modern and whilst very pretty and beautiful in their own way, not from a historic point of view of that interest to me on my border walk. However, I'm going to leave the church now and head down to the coast. It's about a mile walk. Just so that we get back onto the actual border. It's always nice in my videos, if I can, to make contact with the border, because we've just come, as I said before, inland slightly. But it's a very beautiful little graveyard with a surrounding wall and boat-shaped, which is interesting, a pointed end at one end with a beautiful, what looks like a cherry tree there in wonderful pink blossom at the moment. Very picturesque place with lots of walks all around this area. So I'm heading now down towards Bracklesham Bay and down to the beach, and as I say, it's about a mile or so, and I've just passed the Earnley Educational Centre, which I don't know when it was built, but the building looks like it's sort of from the 1970s, I would imagine, and it's completely derelict. When I used to attend Lodge Hill drama courses at Watersfield, just south of Pulborough, Earnley was being talked about quite a lot in the educational world. There, I think, is a car park behind me, so that people from the bird place, what do they call it? I've gone dead. I'll put it on the screen. The bird watching people, the protection for birds, they can park up, and of course this is an area of a triple S, is it? Triple SI, Special Site of Scientific Interest, there we go. Often when filming, holding the camera, people think that this is a very professionally run unit. It is just me, and often you open your mouth, you turn the camera on, you open your mouth, and all the words just disappear, as regular viewers will know. A lot of open field. It's very flat here, very flat indeed. And of course the other thing is that the space, as we've seen as we went round from Pagham, there's a lot of caravan sites all along the south coast here, a lot of caravan sites for static caravans, for holidays and permanent ownership, I suppose. I've just paused for a moment to have a look at this sign here, and there's a number of them, and I'm not going to win any friends. I often open my mouth and say things that maybe I shouldn't, but this is all private property, and so, you know, they're trying to discourage people from parking and coming down to what is, I think, a beautiful beach, and certainly a lovely stretch of headland down here, or bay, Bracklesham Bay. And we can see behind me Bracklesham Bay. There seems to be, from this vantage, a whole load of new builds, which this is where I probably won't be winning a lot of friends. From here, they all look very much the same, as if they were built within the same 6 weeks, possibly over a year or so, of course. But that's the trouble with a lot of modern houses. They do look very, very similar, and they're all built at principally the same time. And so you get that feeling that everything is just that little bit bland, which is a shame when you've got a beautiful bit of coastline. Luckily for us, the footpath goes past it, so don't be intimidated by all the private signs and the keep out and no parking. You have absolutely the right to walk on the public footpaths, even if you're a scallywag like me. I guess these private places that are walled off and what have you, there's probably good reason for it. You don't want trespassers coming in, and you want a bit of privacy. You've paid the money, I suppose. I just sometimes feel that it's so exclusive. It just makes me feel somewhat intimidated. Maybe it's because I haven't got one, and I would feel completely differently if I did own such a thing. Anyway, we're walking now down the last bit, this little unmetalled track down to the coast, and we should get sight of the sea, which is all important. So, having made my way past all the private property, keep your dogs on a lead, and all of this no parking signs that really makes you feel like you're not worthy and you shouldn't be here, I've actually finally come down to the beach, and we start to see some of the beautiful gorse, splash of that wonderful deep yellow that gorse provides. And of course, back in its day, I mean, I imagine this area would have been completely raw and full of exciting and vibrant plants. We climb up onto the shingle here and we get the first views of this incredible bay. Absolutely wonderful, and of course quite deserted because of all the private "you can't drive down here" signs. Down on the beach here, this amazing bay, we get to see, I haven't got a long lens on me, but in the distance that way is Selsey Bill. We can just about see the Isle of Wight as well, and then behind me is Portsmouth. Now I won't be getting as far as Portsmouth because that's in Hampshire, so that's in a different county, but we still have a little bit more to go along the coast. But anyway, that's as far as I am going today in today's walk. I hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to follow, like and subscribe, become a patron and support what I do, and I'll continue with my Sussex Border walk as well as all the other bits and bobs that I do on this channel. I hope you've enjoyed it. Take care and thanks for watching. Bye bye. Bye bye.